Oh,
Hello.
yeah, hi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Hi. How are you?
Fine. Little early. You are very early now today.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So you guys have C plus plus, right?
Yeah. As in, I want an expert opinion also because if it is something absolutely like you can't learn C++ without Java or something, then
No, no.
I
It's
think
not. It's not like that.
yeah.
Actually, we used to learn C plus plus, then Java. Java is object oriented programming. You must have known now, I think. And C plus plus is more about procedural, like the
Yeah. Yeah.
actual maths, how you apply actual maths into programming language. That is all about C plus plus, C and C plus plus. So the sequence is basically you learn C, C plus plus, and then Java. Java is object oriented. So you need to
That's fantastic.
understand. Yeah. So that's the sequence actually. So C plus plus, you can
Plus,
go. Hmm.
for the first 1.5 year, it's only C++ at college. So
So you can go ahead with C
for
plus. Only concern is like
also to revise.
yeah, actually, we have only concern is like the Avesar is expert in Java. He don't take C plus plus. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm going to provide you new tutor on C plus plus. Okay, I will be
Okay.
adding in shortly in a group.
Hmm.
He stay in you know Doha, Qatar. That's Arabian country. So
Qatar.
Qatar, yeah. So he stay there.
Oh, time difference.
Yeah, I just talked to him. I just talked to him. It's like 8:30 there, 8:30 morning, and here it is 11. Hi, Son. Good morning.
So all
Okay,
good.
so yeah, all good. So we are talking about like you will go ahead with C plus plus. So obviously is expert in Java. He is
Yeah.
not taking C plus plus. So I'm going to add new tutor. Okay, he works in IT company in Qatar. So he will take your C plus plus. He is expert in C plus plus. Okay, fine. So I'm going to add in shortly,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you can conduct demo and all, so that you will understand the thing, right? So the only time difference
Okay.
is here it is 11 and
Yeah.
there it is
Two and
8.
a half.
I just talked to him. It is 8:30 there, so we can manage time slot. Even you guys are you know night riders, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. 2.5 hours is not 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's not that difference. Okay, so Dave is joining in 2 minutes. So let's start solving maths first. Lagrange multiplier. After the class, I'll add him in the group. Even if you like, if you want to learn any other technology apart from C plus plus, he guys is well versed with the technologies. In fact, he is my student. He was like 5 years back. He was my student. I used to teach him, C, C plus plus, other stuff. Now I left that technology because I least interested in that, like as compared to mathematics. So now he is in the technical field like since 5 6 years. So he is good in that.
Hmm. That's
Okay.
great, sir. Great.
Yeah. So let me share this screen.
I've been going through these notes again, sir,
Yeah.
for Lagrange multiplier.
Hmm.
We just spoke about the concept of how those two, the intersection of the two,
Curve.
what is it called?
Hmm.
Curves will give us a new minima or maxima based on our arithmetic.
Yeah.
After that, we didn't do anything. That was
No.
the last thing we did.
Yeah. Even I'll explain the whole concept today. We'll start from the beginning of Lagrange multiplier because it was just like I was in hurry little bit that day.
Yeah.
So it's not that difficult. It's very easy concept because the whole purpose of derivative is to apply the concept in optimization problem, isn't it? You will definitely agree with it because the application of derivative is optimization problem, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that difficult, but I'll try. I'll put a different strategy to explain that today, and definitely you'll understand that.
Yeah.
Can anybody call Dev?
Yeah.
Studies coming in like 2 minutes.
It's coming in 2 minutes. Here a message.
Also, Manav,
Yeah.
send the notes if possible, not for the previous classes.
Well, I can't hear you, Sean.
Send the notes now from the previous class.
Yeah. I'll send.
And I have given access
I'll
to
send.
you, Sean, yesterday night only. Did you notice that?
Yeah, so,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. I'll go through look at the notes
Yeah,
for like a better understanding.
yeah. Actually, it
Because
is.
that's only 5 hours. I thought.
Yeah, it's just a collection of the theory part. I have collected all the theory part together and left the question means
Okay,
question solving part. So you may understand the theory,
okay,
but how to apply that theory into the question, you might not understand that because it is not there in the video. Okay. Actually, it is still
okay, fine.
multiple
I'll go
integral
through it.
also. Have you seen video, Mano? It is still
Hmm.
multiple integral also.
No, I haven't seen the whole thing. I was like 5 minutes and I thought like
Hmm.
what today after.
Hmm. No, starting 5 minutes just time pass. We just
Yeah, just to confirm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mano was like Mano
Don't
was
worry.
uh,
It's easy.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm sending. Yeah. Plus, those I'll send as in when I'm done. Sean.
Yeah.
I don't worry. See, don't worry. I'll send all the notes on the group. Okay. I have the collection of all the notes. You can see here on the screen. Okay. I'll send all these notes on the group. Okay.
Yeah.
That's better, right? Hi Dev. Good morning.
Yeah.
I
Okay. So let's talk about Lagrange's multiplier today. We have just we in last class we had just started that. So it is basically the main purpose of what these are not visible. Huh? Just a second. So main purpose of derivative is what? What is the main purpose of derivative, Dev?
Main purpose
Yeah.
to find like the gradient, right, at a point. So,
No, the main application of derivative is basically optimization problem. Okay.
okay.
Optimization problem. So what is optimization problem?
finding the max or minima
Yeah, finding the
of
maxima
the
or
curve.
minima of a curve. Okay,
Yeah.
as the given, we have a constraint for that. Okay, under the given constraint. So
Find
we have to find out the
with
maxima or
respect to
minima with respect to given constraint, right?
yeah.
So that is called the optimization problem.
Yeah.
So in last class we had started with solving one of the optimization problem that was basically to maximize the surface, minimize the material needed to create a box. Okay, the problem was minimize the material needed to create.
Hollow box.
Yeah, is it visible properly?
No.
No,
No.
the screen is blurred.
Yeah. Okay. So it was basically to minimize the material required to create an open box, right? You have the question with you on paper. So that was like we have to minimize the surface area, isn't it? Surface area of the material as the volume is constraint, right? The constraint is xyz is equal to 108. So basically, if you understand closely and geometrically to these equations, okay, that is the surface area is xy plus 2yz plus 2xz, okay, and yeah, and the volume is xyz is equal to 108, right? If you closely understand or look at this equation geometrically, this is nothing but a, like, the surface area is basically a surface, right? To we have three independent variable in that, so it will provide you a surface, it will give you a surface, whereas xyz is also is equal to 108. But if you understand xyz as a function, okay, so w is a function in terms of xyz, like I have mentioned here, w is a function in xyz. So basically this is also a curve, this is also a surface, isn't it? But if I set w is equal to 108, what it will give us? If I set w is
Like a
equal to,
parallel, like a
no, if I
no,
set w is equal to 108, what it will give us?
level curve.
Level curve. Okay, so it will give us level curve. So the constraint is just a curve, right? The constraint is just a curve, right? And if I
Hmm.
equate this s, see the surface area s is equal to xy plus 2, 2yz plus 2xz. If I equate that with some constants, so what set of curves we are getting here? If I equate this, or if I set s is equal to some constants, so what set of things we get? That is also a level curve, right?
Yeah.
That is also a level curve. But if the, since s is equal to xy, that is a whole surface, the equation of the surface, right? So we get a set of level curves, right? And that is nothing but your contour plot, right? So the contour plot is on xy plane, right? That I have shown in the diagram. The contour plot is on xy plane, and at the same time we have one level curve that is as a constraint here, that is constraint given to us. So that level curve will definitely touch the surface of, of the given equation, of the given function. I think that, so it will definitely touch, it should touch. If suppose it doesn't touch, then what is that means? If suppose the level curve does not touch the surface, what does that mean? There is no common solution, right? If suppose the
Right.
level curve does not touch the given surface, it means there is no common solution. So the constraint is not important, okay? It's not that important as far as the surface is concerned, right? So there is no common solution, so we cannot optimize the problem. We can optimize the problem only when there is a common solution to both of these
There's
equations.
a
Are you getting that?
yeah.
So that's why
Hmm.
we try to put z is equal to 108 upon xy in the given equation, and then we find out the common. That is the way to find out the common solution of both the equation, isn't it? To solve them simultaneously. But if suppose there is no intersection, or there is no common point between these two curves, then we cannot solve the optimization problem with that constant, right? So forget about that. But if suppose it touches the surface, if it touches the surface, there must be common solution to them, and that common solution we are interested in. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this example, what method we have to follow is we have to replace z by 108 by xy. Okay, and if I recommend you a method where you no need to replace the variable, is that cool? If I recommend you a
Yeah.
method where you need not to replace the variable, you simply find out one parameter, that is Lagrange multiplier basically, and based on that you can find out maxima or minima. Isn't it cool? Because replacing the variable,
Yeah.
then solving it, it's lot of steps required, right? So let's try to solve one of the optimization problem based on the traditional method, and we'll gradually enter into the Lagrange multiplier concept. Okay, so the problem is, so the you can write the problem. Find the points on the hyperbolic cylinder x square minus z square minus 1 is equal to 0, that are closest to the origin. Okay, so this is a kind of optimization problem. What first things comes in your mind? See, what we have to optimize here, we have to optimize the distance. Are you getting that? Distance closest to the origin, right? We have to optimize the distance of a point on the hyperbolic cylinder which is closest to the origin. Is that okay? Did you understand the question here? So
Yeah.
let me draw the hyperbolic cylinder here, and then based on that understanding we can proceed. So suppose this is z axis, this is y, and this is x. So the hyperbolic cylinder is like this. Do you understand this? Can you imagine this surface? Hmm?
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me let me draw it again. Z, this is x, and this is y. Okay, aren't they same?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is like, you can understand, this is the hyperbolic cylinder. Okay, what we are finding here, what we are interested in, the distance on the hyperbolic cylinder
Point.
that are closest to the origin. okay, that are closest to the origin. So if I take a point on hyperbolic cylinder as xyz, okay, this is the point which is on the hyperbolic cylinder. So what would be the distance of this point from the origin? What would be the distance of this point
So
from the origin?
the distance would be the square root of x square plus y square plus z square.
Yeah, so square root of x minus 0, y minus 0. I elaborate it so that you can understand which formula I have applied here. Okay, so this is the distance of the points from the origin, right? And the point is on hyperbolic cylinder. Is that clear? So instead of, okay, let me just simplify this. X square plus y square plus z square. So instead of minimizing this, we have to minimize closest distance. This we have to minimize this term, the distance, right? Under the given constraint. The constraint is the hyperbolic equation. This is the constraint, right? This becomes the constraint, and what we have to minimize? We have to minimize the distance, right? So instead of minimizing this distance, can I minimize d square to simplify the question? Okay, if d is the smallest distance, d square is also smallest. If d square is smallest, d is also smallest, right? So we, instead of minimizing d, I minimize d square. So our function is f of x y z is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. So we have to optimize this under the constraint. What is the constraint? Constraint is the point must be on the hyperbolic cylinder. That is x square minus z square minus 1 is equal to 0. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So what must be your first approach here? What is the traditional method to solve this type of problem?
The traditional method would be like z square or x square into fxyz.
X square, see, we'll try to replace one of the variable here, right? There are 3 variables involved. So we'll try to replace one of the variable that can be obtained from, that relation can be obtained from the given condition, okay, from the given constraint, right? So if I take z square is equal to x square minus 1, can I take this? I want to replace z square by x square minus 1 in the given function. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So let me replace that. F of x comma y comma z is equal to x square plus y square. And what is z square? See, I'm solving them simultaneously. Okay, it will give us the critical point. Then I'll check that critical point is maxima or minima. Is that fine with you? This is the whole process we are going to perform here. So z square is equal to x square minus 1. So x square minus 1, x square will be 2x square plus y square minus 1. So what next step you are going to do here after this?
Find the partial
derivative. Perfect. So partial derivative with respect to x, right? Let me do one modification here, because I have replaced z by that. So f of x comma y comma z is root x square minus 1. Okay, so the partial derivative with respect to x is how much? What is the partial derivative here? What would be the partial derivative of the given
4x.
function? 4x. Okay,
Correct.
yeah, Sean will answer this. What is the partial derivative of the function with with respect to y?
With respect to y, will be
How much?
2y.
2y. Okay. Now what is the next step here? Mano will answer. What is the next step?
Next step.
To find the critical point, right?
Critical point. Yeah.
So what we do for that? How do we find the critical point? By set them equal to,
You equate both
Simultaneously.
0.
yes.
We equate
So
it
4x
to
is
0
equal
and
to
then
0, x is equal to
whatever we
0,
do is also- yeah.
and 2y is equal to 0. This gives y is equal to 0. What happened? Can you summarize what happened here? See the point, we got a point, the critical point as 0, 0. Is it valid point?
No,
Why?
because I think the function doesn't pass through that point. Right?
Yes. The hyperbolic cylinder does not contain this point. 0, 0 does not lie on the hyperbolic cylinder. Did you understand the limitation of this method?
Yeah.
0, 0 is not there on the hyperbolic cylinder. But where we made mistake, or where we should do something else by using this method only. So basically we made mistake here. Mistake, you can say, like, instead of substituting z square is equal to x square minus 1, rather we should have take x square is equal to z square plus 1. Okay, if we do that, we can find out the required points. Okay, are you getting that? If suppose we would have done this, x square is equal to z square plus 1, we will find out the required point, required critical point. So let's do that. Let's do that also, and then we jump into the Lagrange multiplier, and there you will understand why this method is so important. Okay, so x square is equal to z square plus 1. So instead of substituting, z square by x square minus 1, what I'll do, I'll substitute x square is equal to z square plus 1. So what would be our function now? Z square plus 1 comma y comma z. So the function would be, instead of x square, z plus 1 plus y square plus x square minus 1. Did you understand this? I simply replace x square by z square plus 1. Fine.
Yeah.
See, I have replaced here. I'm again solving this. So z square, x square is equal to z square plus 1. So x is z square plus 1 plus y square plus x square minus 1. So let's simplify this. So this is basically x square plus y square plus z square. Yeah, 1 will cancel out. Okay. So now what we'll do next, we'll find out the partial derivative. Isn't it? So what is the partial derivative of this? Yeah, x square we have replaced, no?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Instead of that,
You came back.
yeah. It should be there above. It should be here in the original function. So x square is basically z square plus 1 plus y square plus z square. So we should not have x in the given expression now. So 2z square plus y square plus 1. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So partial derivative with respect to what? What are the variables here? What are the independent variables? Y and z now. So partial derivative with respect to y is how much? 2y. And partial derivative
2y.
with respect to z is 4z.
4z.
So, so what we do next? we'll set them equal to 0, right? So y is equal to 0. Okay, fy is equal to 0, so 2y is equal to 0, and then y is equal to 0. Here fg is equal to 0, so 4z is equal to 0, z is equal to 0. So what we got here? We got y is equal to z is equal to 0. What is the corresponding x value? Sean will answer it. What is the corresponding x value now?
Y equal, okay, so it should be,
1.
yeah, won't be
Hmm?
oh yeah, sorry, one.
Just one? See, we will use this constraint now to find out x value, right? So since
Plus
y,
minus 1.
yeah, so x square is equal to, what is z? Z is 0, 0 plus 1. So x is equal to plus minus
Yeah.
1. Now, if I write the critical points, so that is 1, 0, 0 and minus 1, 0, 0. Is it on the hyperbolic cylinder? Yeah, it is on the hyperbolic cylinder because it
Yeah.
satisfies the equation as well, the equation of the constraint, right? So it is on the hyperbolic cylinder. This is minus 1, this is 1, you can understand, right? And this is the closest point from the origin. So these are the closest point from the origin. You understand that? But this I
But so don't you have to do a second?
no. If
How do you know it's maximum?
yeah, how do we know it's maxima or minima? That's the valid question. But if you go ahead with the second derivative test, you will definitely get that as a the minima point. Okay, minimum is second derivative is positive and the first fxx is also positive. So you will definitely get that the second derivative test here, and you will get the point as the minima. Understood? I'm not going to do that. You can rather do it as a homework, right? But why we are not doing that? Because you can observe the hyperbolic cylinder is going this way. Okay, look at my hand. The hyperbolic cylinder is going this way, right? So any other point apart from origin would deviate from the minimum distance. Are you getting it? Apart from the that point minus 100 will definitely deviate from the minimum distance, the closest distance, right? So that we can see from the picture as well. But your question is 100% valid. You can check the second derivative test also. That will also give you the minima point. Okay, so I don't like this type of method because we need to do a lot of steps, and in that way sometimes we are not getting the valid solution also, isn't it? Because of the wrong substitution,
Yeah.
we are not getting a valid solution also. So I look at this problem in different way. Okay, so what way? Let's understand that. So let me write the function need to be optimized. That is, what functions need to be optimized, Sean? I want your complete
For the
more
initial,
than more than Mano and Dev, because
yeah,
you need to understand everything what I'm saying. So what function need to be optimized here?
the initial one, the
What is the function?
z square, z square minus 1 equal to 0.
So this function need to be optimized. What is the constraint?
Yeah, x square minus z square minus 1 equal to 0.
Okay. So I think you got some idea about level curve contour map because we done that also in your lecture, in your one-on-one class. Okay. So what is this? Can anybody answer what is this? Hyperbolic cylinder. Okay. What is this? Dev.
That is the distance
No,
from
no.
origin.
If I'm saying
Sphere.
yeah,
Sphere.
if I'm saying this is
Oh,
hyper,
yeah.
so this is sphere, right? So have we picturized a
Yeah.
sphere anywhere? We haven't picturized. Let's picturize that also. Okay. So I'm drawing another diagram. Z. Okay. Let me draw the sphere first. It's difficult to draw a sphere sometimes. Can you imagine this is sphere? Because I can't imagine. Can you imagine this is sphere? Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Z. Okay. This is Z. This is Y. This is X. Okay. Now I'll draw the hyperbolic cylinder here. Okay. Can you understand this is the hyperbolic cylinder?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you can see that x square plus y square plus z square is equal to f of x by z is a sphere that I have drawn, and the given constraint is hyperbolic cylinder that is also drawn here, right? So now we have to minimize the function x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, we have to minimize that. So that is basically the distance of a point on hyperbolic cylinder from the origin, right? That gives a sense of sphere, right? We have to optimize
Right.
this and under this condition. Okay, so we got that. This
So
the
could you repeat your last sentence? What I didn't hear? What was?
yeah, that the statement was this is the sphere that we have drawn here. Okay, and the constraint
Yeah.
is hyperbolic cylinder that is also drawn. So
There is
they are touching
yeah.
somewhere. They must touch somewhere, right? They are touching from the solution, right? From the traditional method, we observe that the required point is basically -100 and somewhere here. Okay, 100. Isn't it? That we understood. That point is on the
Yeah.
hyperbolic cylinder. These are two solutions. So basically, these 2 points lie on the sphere as well as hyperbolic cylinder. Head yes if you understood this. These 2 points lies on hyperbolic cylinder as well as on the sphere, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
what observation we can make out from this? Like if suppose, see this is sphere, okay? Now consider separately, this is your sphere, okay? And this is your hyperbolic cylinder, okay? These edge where they are touching to each other, okay? What is common to them? Now this is very important. What is common to them?
A tangent.
Tangent line. 100% right. We have a tangent line common to them, right? So this is tangent line, right? And we have also studied something. Whenever we discuss tangent line, we have also studied something which is perpendicular to that tangent line. What is that?
Normal.
No. What is the exact name of that?
The the that del f,
Yeah, what is the
that
name?
gradient,
Yeah, gradient.
the
Gradient is always vector. Derivative is
gradient
always
vector,
vector. Right?
gradient
Yeah. Derivative is all.
gradient.
Yeah, understood. Derivative is always vector, right? So if we draw the gradient
Yeah.
vector of, just a second, of, let's say, of this hyperbolic cylinder, this is the gradient vector of what? Hyperbolic cylinder. Okay. The equation of hyperbolic cylinder is, okay, this is the constraint, right? X square minus z square minus 1 is equal to 0. Can I write this as, w of x y z is equal to x square minus z square minus 1, because that is also a function, isn't it? Which gives you the hyperbolic cylinder. That is also a multivariable function, isn't it? So that constraint is basically w x y z, and when we find the gradient vector of that, how do we denote that gradient vector? Del w x comma y comma z. Did you understand that? So, and what is the gradient vector? See, this function, this red is basically f x y z. This is sphere, right? So if I draw the gradient vector of that sphere, that is also like this, yes, the perpendicular to the tangent. So this is the gradient vector of sphere, right? What relation is there
Oh,
between
so
them?
they have equal magnitude, but like negative direction, like negative of
No,
that,
we don't know about the magnitude.
right?
No, we don't know about the magnitude because
I
we are
mean,
not plugging the point. But
direction.
one thing we absolutely make out here, that their direction are, they are along the same line, right? If two vectors are parallel, what we write? If two vectors are parallel, what we write usually? Sean, if two vectors are parallel,
Yeah,
so what we usually write in
yeah.
terms of notation?
Scalar multiple.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Scalar multiple of each other, right? If I say u is equal to mv, okay, it means u and v are parallel. Okay, if m is minus 1, then u and v are in opposite direction. Okay, that doesn't matter. Basically, if two vectors are along same line, we can write one vector in terms of scalar multiple of other. Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So here, these two are gradient vector. These are the gradient vector. They are along the same line. So what we can write here, that delta f, no, del f, sorry, del f, del f is equal to scalar multiple of some scalar quantity into del w, right?
Yeah.
So let me write the scalar quantity as lambda, and this lambda is very significant because the name of this lambda is basically Lagrange's
Lagrange multiplier. Yeah.
multiplier. Okay, so why this is important? Let's understand that why this is important. Okay, so can we find out? See, we have two equations. Now we understood. No, I made mistake here. It should be del. Instead of del, I write delta. Okay. So can we find out del f and del w of the given equations? What are these basically? These are the, what is this basically? This is a vector whose, complete me. This is a vector. Gradient vector is a vector whose components are partial derivative. You don't revise.
Yeah.
No, sir, I knew.
I don't want the method you follow. I don't want method. I want terms from you. I know you know the method. You will do partial derivative, you put it in the vector form, and you will find out the gradient vector. I know that. But tell me the words, no? It is the component, the gradient vector is a vector whose components are partial derivative. Okay? So f x y z is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. So what are the partial derivative? Fx, fy, and fz. Okay, what is fx?
Uh,
2x, 2y, and 2z.
Yes, 2x, 2y, and 2z. And w is equal to, what is w? W is x square minus z square minus 1 square minus z square minus 1. See, this minus 1 is insignificance. You can, that's why you can get rid of that, like when I explain you about level curve, because we are going to find out the partial derivative. So wx and wz. Okay, and what is wy here? That also you can find out. There is no y, but what would be wy? So what is wx first? 2x.
2x.
Wz minus 2z. What is wy, Sean? What is wy? Partial derivative with respect to y? 0. Perfect. So the gradient vector here is basically, the general equation of the gradient vector is 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap. Now you see the magic here. What is the gradient vector of w? 2x I cap plus 0 minus 2z k cap, right? Now what is next step? According to Lagrange multiplier, or this formula, what is our next step? We are going to equate them, because we are finding the common solution. These are the gradient vector along same line, so obviously one is scalar multiple of other. So 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap is equal to lambda 2x I cap minus 2z k cap. Okay, what you guys are expert in now after this? When do we say the vector are equal? Okay, let me write this also. 2 lambda x I cap minus 2 lambda z k cap, and we have 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap. So what should be our next step?
Yeah. We
This-
can
no, we start solving it, right?
Solving for what? Obviously, in order to
first
find
of all,
lambda,
cancel two.
no. When two vectors are equal, their components must be equal. That's what I want to answer from you. See, when two vectors are equal, yeah, their components are also equal.
Yeah.
We simply equate the corresponding terms, right? So in order to solve for lambda,
We get 1.
yeah,
2x.
so
2x
2x is equal to 2 lambda x, right? 2y is equal to 0. 2z is equal to minus 2 lambda z. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Let me know the
We get
individual values here.
1 0 minus 1.
1 0
Minus 1.
Yeah. So lambda is equal. What is lambda here? X will cancel out. Lambda is equal to
column
1.
1 0. Yeah.
Lambda is equal to 1.
Yeah.
Y is equal to 0. What is yeah. So when you get lambda is equal to 1, can you find out z and everything?
Yeah.
So what is like z? Z is also 0, because when you put lambda here, lambda is equal to 1. So 2z is equal to minus 2z and z is equal to 0. Right? You can make 4z is equal to 0. 2z plus 2z is equal to
Yeah.
0. So z
Yeah.
is equal to 0. Right?
Yeah.
So when you got lambda, you got all the points, isn't it? For lambda is equal to 1, this will also give you x is equal to 0, isn't it? Because 2x is equal to 2x. For lambda is equal to 1, this will also give you x is equal to 0. So what we got here? What did we get? X comma 0 0. No, sorry. X is supposed to be plus minus 1, no? So we got z is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Where should I plug this to find out x? Where should I plug this to find out x? The constraint. What is the constraint? X square minus z square. X square minus z square is equal to 1. Right?
Yeah.
So if z is equal to 0, what is x? X is equal to plus minus 1. So it directly gives you the value of the point, the critical point here. So what are the critical points? The critical points is 1 0 0 minus 1 0 0. Did you understand this? Once we find out lambda, we can find out all the values like x, y, and z. Okay. So this will give directly the required points, that is critical point here. And for the purpose of yeah.
One thing I didn't get, if you did it from another way, like if you try the value of lambda using 2z is equal to minus 2 lambda z, lambda would be equal to minus 1, no?
Lambda is equal to minus 1. Okay. In that case, what would be x? Like if you substitute lambda here,
Okay. Then x would be equal to 0.
yeah, you will get the same thing. No. Here. If you find lambda is equal to minus 1, right? X can't be 0. First of all, understand that. X can't be 0. Because x 0, if you find x is equal to 0, what is z? Z is equal to 1, right? Z is equal to plus minus 1. See, if you put x is equal to 0, can you find out z here? Like if you put x is equal to 0 here in the constraint, 0 minus z square minus 1. Can you find out z? We cannot find, no?
I don't understand.
But I'm saying, so what if you? But how is that lambda is equal to 1 satisfying equation? It's actually not satisfying the other one, right? You in the first, when you got x, you got lambda is equal to 1. But
One.
then the lambda is equal to 1 doesn't satisfy the other one.
Which one? This.
The other equation. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
No, it's need not to satisfy, na. See, because we got different components here, right? We got different components. We are equating them,
Hmm.
right? We are equating them.
Hmm.
So it is not mandatory so that they satisfy. We have to find out which one is valid, right? If you find out lambda is equal to 1, that gives you the valid point. If you find lambda minus 1, that in that case you can't find x value.
Right, right.
Because if
Okay.
you find lambda is equal to minus 1, x is equal to 0, and in that case, the given constraint won't give you the valid z value, right? So in that case, we have to
Yeah,
find out lambda which gives you the proper critical points, the real critical points. Is that okay?
right.
So let's solve
Yeah.
few more
Yeah.
questions so that it will be clear.
Yeah. Pause for a minute. Yeah. Can we pause for 1 minute? So could you scroll up a little bit? I just need to go through the whole thing. Yeah, there. Bas. That's enough.
So did you understand the core idea of this Lagrange multiplier?
Yeah, normal thing, right?
Yeah, the gradient vector are parallel, and basically the level curve,
Yeah,
which is given as a constraint, will definitely touch the given surface, and wherever it touches, their tangent will be same, and the gradient vector will be parallel, right? So that is the core idea
yeah.
behind it.
I'm a bit confused.
Yeah,
How does a partial derivative become the
gradient
normal
vector.
gradient?
Yeah,
Like, how does that?
that
Yeah,
basically,
gradient.
yeah, that basically you have to refer, you have to go through
Okay.
that video. Otherwise, I have to
And
explain the whole idea behind that. So the just after
Yeah.
limit
So
and
could
continuity, you can refer the gradient vector, or we'll have a separate class also. Maybe tomorrow I'll confirm the time. Okay, so that I'll try to cover the previous thing parallelly. Is that fine?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I
yeah.
So
don't mind watching the video if it's in there.
yeah, you watch the video. If you're comfortable, you can tell me so that I'll skip the
Fine.
parts which you understood. We'll move ahead
Cool.
quickly.
And
Okay.
it has all the theory, right? So then
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just
It has all the
go
theory.
through it.
Yeah. If you don't understand, you
Fine.
ask me. Then we'll have a class. That also will work for me.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Up a
So,
little bit.
huh?
Can you scroll up? There's one thing I need a copy.
Okay, okay.
The more.
More.
Yeah, more.
I'll just come back.
A little more. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. While writing, please try to understand what you are writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like this method, Dev,
Yeah,
rather than
it's
the
pretty
traditional?
cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah,
The whole focus is on for lambda now, the Lagrange multiplier, and that resolve all the problem.
Yeah. Done.
Okay. So should I put up the question? Done, Dev. Have you also written?
yeah.
Okay.
I copied. So.
Okay. So the question is f of x comma y comma z is equal to x plus 2y minus 2z. Hmm. This is the surface. So optimize this, and the constraint is x square plus 2y square plus 4z square is equal to 1. Let's start solving this. If you don't understand the theory, the exact uh, theory about the gradient vector shown, but if you understood the method
Yeah.
to find out the gradient vector, that is basically the partial derivative,
Yeah.
is become the component of that vector, right? So at least you do that, and as far as the theory is concerned, you refer that video. Okay, so at least you know the method, you follow that method to it.
Fine, yeah.
What should be your first step here? What are we going to
Find
find?
both the
Gradient vector,
gradient vectors.
right? So find out del f, and before that we have to write the given equation in terms of function, because this is a level curve, right? This is a level curve. We
Yeah.
can write this in terms of function x y z is equal to x square plus 2y square plus 4z square. If you write -1, that's okay. If you don't write, because that is going to be 0 when you find partial derivative. It doesn't matter. There you don't have computer like Sean and Mano has. They are doing
I have.
C++. Actually, they are doing C++.
Oh, that way.
No, not that
No,
way.
sir, I'm not. I don't. But no,
Okay.
sir. My major, this thing, my
Chemical
course really
engineering.
doesn't require
You are doing chemical engineering, right?
science engineering.
Okay.
I'm doing material science.
Material science. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I equated them.
Hmm.
I'm very confused how to solve it. Like
Yeah.
after
Don't worry.
doing
This is
it in terms
your
of Z and
this is
lambda,
your
like
first question. Don't worry. It happens. It's very easy, but
yeah.
I'll tell you the path how to find out lambda. Did you find lambda? I think
No, that's what I don't know. Like I got three equations. I don't know how to do it.
okay, no problem. So what is del f? Del
Omega
f,
is a constraint.
omega is constraint. Yeah.
I
G of
cap
hmm,
I cap 2 j cap minus 2 k cap.
2 k cap. Right. And what is
Yeah.
del
Yeah.
G?
2x I cap plus 4yj cap
Yeah.
plus 8z cap.
Please verify these answers, Sean.
I got a statement.
Okay, cool. So the next step
Now
is,
you just equate it, right?
yeah, we'll simply equate them
Yeah.
with this Lagrange multiplier del G. So I cap plus 2j cap minus 2k cap is equal to lambda 2x I cap plus 4yj cap plus 8z k cap. What is the next step? We
It is
multiply
fine. It
lambda.
is fine. It is fine if we write it in column vector, right? So we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to
it's
write
okay.
all this.
Yeah, it's okay. 2 lambda x I cap plus 4 lambda y j cap plus 8 lambda z k cap. So the next step is to equate them. Okay. So 2 lambda x is equal to 1, right? So 1 is equal to 2 lambda x. Then 2 is equal to 4y lambda and minus 2 is equal to 8
Yeah.
z lambda. Okay. Now the question is how to find out lambda, right?
Hmm.
So what is the constraint given to us? This is the constraint, right?
So we write the constraint in terms of we chuck one variable basically by getting
Lambda. Basically, you will get x is equal to 1 over 2 lambda, y is equal to 1 over 2 lambda, and z is equal to 1 over minus 1 over 4 lambda. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So this should satisfy, these x, y, z value should satisfy the given constraint. So if you plug them in the given constraint here, which is x square plus 2y square plus 4z square is equal to 1, it will give us the value of lambda, isn't it? So I'm going to put that stuff in the given constraint, that is 1 over 2 lambda square plus 2 into 1 over 2 lambda square plus 4 into minus 1 over 4 lambda square is equal to 1. Okay, for your reference, put them in given constraint. Okay, now let me know the value of lambda here.
one.
Oh, plus minus 1. Sorry.
What did you get?
Yeah,
Plus
plus
minus
minus
1. Okay.
Plus minus one.
Plus minus
What about you, Sean? Did you get the same answer?
Yeah, same.
Okay. So lambda is equal to 1 and lambda is equal to minus 1. These are two values. Can you find out x, y, z values? That will be the critical points. For lambda is equal to 1, what are the critical points? What is the critical point? For lambda is equal to 1, x is equal to 1 over 2, y is equal to 1 over 2, and z is equal to minus 1 over 4. Where did I sub this?
Here,
Yeah,
the top.
yeah.
X equal to 1 by 2 lambda. Yeah.
So this is the point called as critical point, half minus 1 by 4. And for lambda is equal to minus 1, x is equal to minus half, y is equal to minus half, and z is equal to plus 1 by 4.
1 by 4.
Yeah. So this is also a critical point. But how do we say whether these are maxima or minima? So this, in this case, it becomes absolute maxima
second.
or absolute. No, we don't do that. In this case, this becomes the absolute maxima or absolute minima,
Okay.
because it is on both the curve, right? It gives two critical points. The critical point means the maxima or minima should appear on these 2 points only, right? So what the easiest way? we simply find out the values of the function at this point. So if you plug this critical point, okay, in the given function, what is the value of the function? Means what is f of 1 by 2, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4?
2.
Huh?
2.
2. Did you get 2? What about you, Manav? 2. If you substitute these points in the given function, yeah, the function that need to be optimized, yeah.
Yeah.
So that will give you the some value, okay? Because we know one thing, that minima or maxima will definitely appear on the critical points, right? So we got the critical points. Instead of solving by second derivative test, we simply find out the value of the function at these critical points. So
So,
here it is for f of 1 by 2, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4, it is 2. And what about f of minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by
Minus 2.
1 by 4 is minus 2. So you can simply say
Minus 2.
which one is maxima and which one is minima by looking at the values. So this is what?
Maximum.
Maxima. Okay. And this is minima. Don't confuse with the sign, and because we are simply finding out the value of the function. It is not like negative will give you maxima, positive will give you minima. Don't confuse like that, because we are simply finding out the value of
The
the
main
function. It's not second derivative test kind of. Yeah.
main function was x plus 2y minus 2z, right?
Yeah. So if you substitute these critical points in the given function here written above, you will find out this value.
It'll be 1.
1. They've got 2. X plus 2y minus 2z. X plus 2y minus 2z. F of x comma y1. X plus 2y minus 2z. So if you substitute half plus 1 minus
Minus half.
plus half
Plus half.
plus half minus become plus.
Minus
half,
minus 2.
yeah.
Half for that one, now for that one. Okay.
So half 1 and 1 2.
the anyways will be maximum.
Sorry.
Anyways, will be the maxima even if it's 1.
Yeah, but we have to find out the proper maximum value of the function.
Okay.
Okay, that is the absolute maximum of the
Yeah.
function for that constraint. Done.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting up the next question. Let's see who solved it by own. F of x comma y is equal to x square plus xy plus y square. See, look how easy it is. You didn't notice that it's very easy. Like we simply equated the vector, we found lambda, we substitute that, we got the critical points. It's very easy and straight. Whereas if you follow the traditional method, we have to substitute, we have to replace one of the variable, then partial derivative, set that equal to 0, find the critical points, find whether it is maxima, minima. That's the other thing. But you have to follow a lot of steps, right? So this is
Yeah.
very straight and very simple. Even for the like more than 2 independent variables.
Yeah, sir. Got there 2 points. I got it.
2 points. What lambda you got for this?
Mm, uh, my I didn't really find the exact value of lambda in my method, but the value of lambda is coming to 4 plus 2 6. I think it's coming to 3 by 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But I find the value in my method.
Did you find only one value of
I
lambda? There is only one value of lambda or two values?
or there are two values. There are two values. Like
So what
the
is the
other value would be the minus method.
minus minus
The
or plus of
minus 3 by 2.
2
Minus
by
3 by 2.
3 by minus? No. Check your calculations.
Sorry, sorry. My critical points are 2
What?
comma 2 and minus 2 comma 2.
2
It's wrong.
comma 2 and minus 2 comma
Minus 2.
minus 2 comma minus 2 and 2 comma 2. So what are the values at these critical point?
Uh, so at 2 comma 2
Hmm.
it's 12, and
Hmm.
I think at minus 2 comma minus 2 it is also 12.
Also 12. So then how would you conclude whether it is maxima or minima or it just
Okay, I think I messed up.
yeah.
I
Actually
messed up.
yeah, you will get 4 critical points instead of 2. So find all 4 critical points. These two are right.
Oh, array, so it's 2 comma minus 2 and minus 2 comma 2 also,
Yeah. So find out the
because both
yeah,
are plus 1.
yeah. So find out the remaining values of the function at the critical points.
4. The other two are 4.
Yeah.
They give
So
4.
yeah. So maxima at 2 minus 2. Sorry, maxima at 2 comma 2 minus 2 comma minus 2 and minima at 2 minus 2 minus 2 comma 2. Right.
Yeah.
You also got this song.
Equating the two, this thing, the vector,
Gradient vector.
some almost there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So side by side, I'm giving you solution here. Those who are less confident can see the solution on screen. So del f x comma y is equal to 2x plus y I cap plus, even you can verify this, Dev.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah, I
g
got
of,
the same.
okay, very good, x
Yeah.
square plus y square.
Yeah.
So del g x comma y is equal to 2x I cap plus 2y j cap. Okay. So when we equate this, so 2x plus y I cap plus 2yx j cap is equal to lambda 2x I cap plus 2y j cap. So when we equate the components, so 2x plus y is equal to 2 lambda x, 2y
2
plus
lambda
x
x,
is
yeah.
equal to 2
That's
lambda
equal to
y,
2 lambda y.
and the constraint
Yeah.
is x square plus y square is equal to 8. Okay, this is the constraint. We'll use that later. So this gives us y is equal to 2 lambda x minus 2x, which is nothing but 2x common, lambda minus 1. Okay, y is equal to y is equal to. So once we got y, okay, this is
Yeah.
x is equal to 2y lambda minus 1. Okay, from this 2y lambda minus 1, and when we got y in
Yeah.
terms of x, we simply plug this in the next equation. So that will give you x is equal to 2 2x lambda minus 1 lambda minus 1, right? So x is equal to 4x lambda minus 1 square. Okay, so this 4x lambda minus 1 square minus x is equal to 0. So this gives x is equal to 0, or you know 4 lambda minus 1 the whole square is equal to 0, isn't it? I skip one statement here, that taking common. So is it possible x is equal to 0 is possible? Hmm?
No.
Why?
Because it won't be like 2 dimension. I mean, like, will you lose a dimension or something, right?
No, see, this is the circle. X square plus y square is equal to 8, right? This is the circle,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
if you have x is equal to 0, okay, so y is also,
It'll be 1 dimension.
yeah. So y will be like 0, right? So you will get 0 0, and 0 0 does not lie on the circle, isn't it? If you have x is equal to 0, y is also 0, because if you put this here, right, in the second condition here,
Yeah.
you will get y is equal to 0, and that does not lie on the circle. See, 0 0 is inside the circle, it is not on the circle, right?
Hmm.
So x is not possible.
Yeah.
X is equal to 0 is not possible, and thus lambda is equal to how much? Plus what is lambda? No, I think
Lambda is equal to 1.
no, I made some mistake maybe. Yeah, while taking common, I didn't take common here, so that is mistake. 4 lambda minus 1 square minus 1 is equal to 0, isn't it? If you take, see, therefore we should not skip any statement sometimes. So x is common, 4 lambda minus 1 square minus 1 is equal to 0, isn't it? This is the statement that I skipped. So x is equal to 0, or 4 lambda minus 1 square minus 1 is equal to 0. So what is lambda now? Can you find out lambda here?
1 plus minus
Lambda minus
1
1,
plus minus half.
yeah, lambda minus 1 is equal to plus minus half, right?
Yeah.
So lambda is equal to 3 by 2, or lambda is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 3 by 2, and minus 1 by 2 plus 1, so that will give you half. 3 by 2 or half. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So when lambda is equal to 3 by 2, what is the value of y? Y was 2x lambda minus 1, right?
Yeah.
So y is equal to, if you put 3 by 2, so that will be like 3 by 2 minus 1, which is
Half.
1 by 2 half. 2 will cancel out.
X,
You will
X.
simply get x.
X.
So y is equal to x, and the condition is x square plus y square is equal to 8, right? That is the constraint. So when y is equal to x, you plug that y is equal to x here. So x square plus x square is equal to 8. 2x square is equal to 8. x square is equal to 4, x is equal to plus minus 2. Okay, so what are the critical points? You should write critical points right away. Okay, हेलो, हाँ, इधर नीचे हो, एक मिनट. ये अमेजन से नीचे पार्सल ले लो, ले जाकर.